Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome. Today we're diving deep into some music history to crack what I like to call the secret code behind the blues.
So, you know that feeling, right? A song comes on and it just gets you right in the feels. It's like the artist is speaking directly to your soul. Well, what if I told you there's a kind of musical secret sauce that makes that happen? We're about to figure out what it is.
All right, so to crack this code, we've got to go back to the beginning. We need to understand the origin story. What is the blues anyway?
Okay, so forget about fancy recording studios or big concerts. The blues was born way back in the late 1800s, right in the heart of African American communities in the southern U.S. This was music for and by the people, a mix of spirituals and work songs that let them share the real stories of their lives, the good and the bad. It started out on front porches, just small gatherings, but then it started to travel, moving up the Mississippi Delta into huge cities like Chicago. And from there, it basically took over the world, becoming the foundation for rock, jazz, and probably a ton of songs on your playlist right now.
So, how did it do that? How did it get so huge? This is where that secret code comes in. The best way to think about it is like a viral meme format. It's a simple blueprint that's super easy to follow, but anyone can take it and make it completely their own.
At the very core of this code is something called the 12-bar blues. Don't let the name intimidate you. It's just a simple 12-measure loop that repeats over and over again. It gives the song a predictable pattern. It's like the game board, It sets up the rules so everyone knows what to expect, and then you can get creative on top of it. And speaking of getting creative, let's talk about the lyrics. Blues often uses this super simple but really powerful pattern called AAB. Here's how it works. First, you sing a line about how you're feeling. Let's say, woke up this morning feeling down and low. Then, step 2, you repeat that exact same line to let it sink in. Woke up this morning feeling down and low. And then, for step 3, you sing a new line that kind of resolves it or finishes the thought. My baby left me, ain't got nowhere to go. See? A, B. So simple, but man, it's effective.
And here's the final piece of the code, the secret ingredient that gives the blues its unique flavor, the blue notes. Think of these like a sad filter or a sound emoji for your music. They're notes that are intentionally played or sung just a little bit flat, kind of off on purpose. This is what creates that classic, soulful, melancholy vibe. It's the sound of emotion, and it's what gives the blues that incredible punch.
So, you've got the code, but now you need the right tools to bring it to life, right? So let's talk about the gear, the musician's loadout, if you will, and the techniques they use to get their message across. Back in the day, the acoustic guitar was king. It's just so intimate and personal, It has this raw sound. And the early blues masters figured out this amazing technique called fingerpicking. Your thumb plays a steady bass line while your other fingers are plucking out the melody. It's wild. It's like one person can sound like an entire band, all on one instrument. You can even tap the body for a little percussion. But then, the electric guitar showed up, and bam, it was a total game changer. As blues musicians moved into these loud, packed city clubs, they needed to be heard over the crowd. The electric guitar was the answer. It could be amplified, it could hold notes for what felt like forever, and you could add some distortion to get this really tough, gritty sound that would basically become the birth of rock and roll. And one of the coolest, most expressive techniques on any guitar is the slide. So instead of pressing your fingers on the frets, players would slide something smooth, like a glass bottleneck or a metal tube, along the strings. And what you get is this smooth, whining sound that sounds almost exactly like a human voice crying out. It's haunting and just absolutely beautiful. The guitar wasn't all alone, though. It had a partner in crime, a soulful sidekick, the harmonica, or as it's known in the blues, the harp. It was the perfect instrument for traveling musicians. It was cheap, it fit in your pocket, and it could let out this powerful wail that could just stop you in your tracks.
So how do they get all that emotion out of such a tiny instrument? Well, the secret weapon is a technique called bending. By changing the shape of their mouth, players can literally pull a note's pitch down, making the harmonica sound like it's moaning or singing. That's how they get those incredibly expressive, almost vocal-like sounds. Okay, so you've got the code, you've got the gear. But the blues isn't just about playing the right notes. It's a living, breathing thing. It's a live conversation.
A huge part of this conversation is something called call and response. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a musical back and forth.
Think of it like a text message thread. The singer makes a statement, that's the call, like woke up this morning,
And then an instrument, like the guitar or the harmonica, answers back with a little melody. That's the response. It's this constant dialogue that makes the music feel so interactive and alive.
And maybe the most exciting part of this whole conversation is improvisation. This is basically freestyling, but for music. All the musicians in the band know the rules of the game, that 12-bar structure we talked about, but the solos, they're made up right there, on the spot. This means every single performance is unique. It's a one-of-a-kind expression of that exact moment.
So why are we talking about this? Why does a style of music that's over 100 years old still matter today? Well, because its DNA is everywhere. It's like a ghost hiding in your favorite playlists. No, seriously. Look at this family tree. The blues is the direct parent of rock and roll and the foundation of jazz. And its DNA, that structure, those blue notes, the raw emotional honesty, you can find it all over modern pop, hip-hop, and R&B. You could say the blues basically taught all of our modern music how to be real, how to be vulnerable, and how to express the deepest parts of being human.
This quote just sums it up perfectly. The blues created a predictable, simple structure, that 12-bar loop. But inside that structure, it gives musicians total freedom to tell their own story and express their own unique creativity.
So if you take away just one thing, let it be this. The blues created a musical code for turning personal struggle into universal art that still shapes the music you listen to every single day.
So I've got a challenge for you. The next time you're listening to your favorite artist, really listen. Listen for that ghost of the blues. Can you hear it? Maybe in the melody, the lyrics, or just the overall emotion. Think about it. What modern song that you love has a little bit of the blues in it? I bet you'll be surprised.